Hello, everyone, and
Powered
welcome
by
back to the
Riverside
Ash Gracie
FM.
podcast. Thank you for bearing with me on this hiatus. It has been a very busy few weeks with graduation and moving and, all the things. And so I wanted to just take today as a little love letter to UCLA and to Los Angeles, and yeah, just kind of where I'm currently at with the whole moving process and post grad beginnings and all of this sort of thing. So, yeah, I mean, the past 4 years have been such an interesting time and a place where I've been able to learn so much about who I am in regards to the industry I want to be in and what I want to do with my life. And I think that's been a very interesting journey and process. And I remember coming in and not really knowing what I wanted to do. And, to an extent, I still don't. And I've learned that that's okay. It's okay not to know what I want because things keep changing, and I'll get into that in a future episode. But essentially, I think at 17, I made the decision to move across the world to Los Angeles, a city that I had never been to before. And I don't really know what I was expecting. I don't think I came in with expectation, and I was ready for a change, for something new, for things to just come my way. But I think I was also looking for answers. And while I didn't get a lot of answers. I got, a little bit more clarity, the wildest of experiences, and the best of people and best of friends. And I think when people ask me what I'm going to take away from this experience, it's not going to be the degree and it's not going to be all the classes, but it's going to be the relationships that I've built and the community that I have built and the sense of self that I have to by being at UCLA and by being in this environment where I've really been able to grow. And I think that's the most important part of this journey. And so I think coming into freshman year, I was eager to make friends, and I did make some very quickly. And I got comfortable and I was in my classes. I still didn't know what I wanted, but it was just this chance to exist, and I loved it. And it was great to be around people who made me feel safe and wanted and all these things. And it was just so full of community and full of a love that I never knew was possible. And so freshman year was all about experiencing anything and everything that I wanted to, just being around people, taking it all in, being independent for the first time, being away from home for the first time. And it taught me so much about what I needed to do for myself, to take care of myself, but also to take care of other people. And like spring break going to Alaska with Jess, like all of these things, these moments have all kind of built up and created the person that I am now. And I think it's so interesting to look back on how I was at just 18, kind of, in a new place for the first time, figuring it all out. And so it was this beautiful thing that I was, figuring out step by step. And that was kind of that. And then sophomore year kind of comes around and I'm pretty comfortable with where I'm at, I feel, and starting to get into the groove of things, starting to get ahead on my classes, trying to figure out, if I want to add a minor or two and figuring out what that looks like as well. And yeah, all the pieces just kind of coming together and figuring out what was important to me. And it was also a time of healing and a time of growth for a lot of reasons. And, that was the year I started this and started all my projects and kind of made me more certain of the kind of person that I wanted to be and the kind of creative that I wanted to be, and helped me outline essentially what was important to me, because that's the part that I didn't really know very. And then junior year comes around and I'm, gone for the first 7 months because I went to Europe, went abroad, and we're going to talk more about that in next week's episode with a special guest. But it was just so wonderful to have that experience and to be able to be in a new place and meet new people. But what I realized is that I had formed this community in LA that I missed so desperately. And I feel that now when I'm sitting in my childhood bedroom of sorts and not able to be in LA right now. Sucks. And it hasn't fully hit me that I'm not going back in a few months, going somewhere else in a few months. And so it taught me a lot about, what was important to me, who was important to me, and who were the people I wanted to see as soon as I got back. And then I did, I went back and got to see everyone and got to work on projects that I never knew I would be able to do. Never really planned on directing a show, didn't really plan on acting in a show. And I think, the theater is such a community where you can really do whatever you want in it. And I've been so lucky to be able to do all the various things in it that I wanted to. And I think that that is incredible and such a powerful place to be, in a place where you feel like you can do whatever you want and still be making progress to your goals. And there's always so many things to do and to create and to make. And I never really considered myself a playwright, but hey, I finished a musical and I'm almost done a play. Like, I'm always working on different things, as a lot of y'all know. I think that makes me creative, that makes me interested in what I do, but it keeps me motivated to do more. And so that kind of takes us to senior year and kind of, I don't know, trying to take it all in and do what I can to cherish as much of it as possible because time flies and here we are at the end of June and 4 years has kind of gone in a blink of an eye and I'm just kind of sitting here and trying to figure it all out and trying to process everything and it's not easy to figure out what to say because it's to a home that has existed for me for the past 4 years. It's a lot. But what I'm gonna say is this. The people that have come into my life because of this experience are people that I'm never gonna forget, regardless if these are people that I still talk to or not, because there are a lot of people who I know I probably will not talk to, and a lot of people who I will. And I just hope that these people know that I care about them and they're important, and that I am very grateful for the part that they have played in my life and my college journey because it really has meant so much more than I will be able to put into words or into music or into any form of creative media that I so thank you if you're listening for making this the most wonderful of experiences for building a home for me, for taking care of me, whatever this is, for enhancing my creativity. You know who you are. And even though I still don't really know what my dreams are, I know that I'm a little bit closer than I was 4 years ago. So I'm gonna leave you there for this week, and we will be back with weekly episodes, so don't you worry. And as always, don't forget that you are loved, you are amazing, and I thank you for being here.